Hi, I'm Richard Vague with Tychos. In recent years, we've seen a remarkable surge in corporate profits, which have reached levels that we've not witnessed for over 70 years, both nominally and as a percent of GDP. So let's start by looking at the trajectory of non-financial corporate profits as outlined by the BEA analysis from 1946 forward. In nominal terms, corporate profits have gone from $14 billion in 1946 to $2 trillion as of December 2023. But to truly understand these numbers through time, we need to express them as a percent of GDP. And in doing that, we see profits have been trending upwards since the 1980s and recently even surpassed the very high levels reached in the late 1940s. Profits have surged, driving up the stock market valuations in the process. However, within any economic framework, a key principle holds true. Income must equal expense. So you can't have income to one entity without it being an expense to another. And if one sector has an increase in income, it means higher expenses elsewhere. So the question then becomes, which sector is footing the bill for the rise in corporate profits? If we look at household income before dividend income in ratio to GDP during that same span, we can clearly see that corporate profits come at the expense of households. Within total corporate profits, the sector with the highest earnings is technology, as demand for computers, software, communications, and biotechnology increases. Meanwhile, rising energy and healthcare costs continue to drain the checking accounts of households. So, oversimplifying, it has been tech, energy, and healthcare companies that have gained a bigger share of national income at the expense of households. But we need to look one level deeper because corporations use dividends to distribute much of their income back to households. So let's now look at corporate earnings through time as a percent of GDP after paying dividends and certain other expenses, as the Fed measures it in their integrated macroeconomic accounts report, which is in essence the cash earnings of corporations after dividends and investments. When we do this, we can see that corporate cash earnings have not really increased in relation to GDP. So now let's look at the same income numbers and ratio to GDP for households after dividend income is received. Here we can see that household income has held up better through time, with recent levels ahead of the levels of the 1990s. But, as the Fed's distributional financial accounts data shows, this income isn't spread evenly over households. It shows us, in fact, that the top 10% hold a whopping 87% of the corporate equity in the U.S., so most of these dividend payments are going to the top 10% of income earners. This conforms to the analysis of wages and household income we covered in our April 19, 2024 report, and serves as yet another indication of the escalating levels of inequality. That's it for this week. Thanks.